Hello. The current harmattan season, with dry and dusty winds acting as combustion for unguided fires, would require adequate sensitization and action on the part of every Nigerian. Our own part right here is to bring the issue to the table for deliberation. And that's exactly what we are set to do on tonight's edition of Weekend File. Have a good evening and welcome to the program. The incessant cases of fatal fires in homes, public buildings and markets in Nigeria, resulting in loss of lives and property, is an encouraging reason for us to delve into this perplexing and perennial phenomenon. Traders in Nigeria lament that market fire disasters have become a yearly sacrifice in which many of them lose their means of livelihood. Between November 5, 2019 and January 7, 2020, Nigeria recorded ferocious fire disasters. Victims of fires that gutted parts of Balogun Market at Martin Street, Lagos, are still counting their losses. Likewise, those of them of Teji Market, Onitsha Main Market in Anambra, and a Castle Market in Oyo State. Not forgetting victims of GSM market disasters in Maiduguri and Jimeta Market in Yola. Plus, other numerous fire incidents caused by gas and petrol tanker explosions. The most common factor in the fire disasters in Nigeria is the poor responsiveness of the fire service, an agency also grappling with its own operational challenges. Just this morning, part of Old Automobile Spare Parts Market, also known as Mbuka Market in Awada area of Onitsha in Anambra State, was gutted by fire. Experts blame the spike in fire incidents on lack of regular drills in schools, offices, markets, homes, and public buildings that can help expose inadequate fire prevention, detection, and escape techniques. The attitude of Nigerians towards fire safety management measures is also fingered as one of the causative factors. We will put all that into perspective on the show tonight. Our guest is the Controller General, Federal Fire Service, Liman Alhaji Ibrahim, who will be joining us from our Ibadan Network Center. Thank you for joining us on the show tonight. I am Kirin Umayo, and this is Weekend File, the place for comprehensive analysis of crucial national matters. Now we begin with the news. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has suspended the use of National Identification Number as criteria to sit for the 2020 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination and Direct Entry Examination. Olaike Ojo reports that JAMB's registrar, Professor Isha Koloyede, said this at the board's headquarters in Buhari, Abuja, with the top management staff of the National Identification Management Commission named in attendance. Professor Isha Koloyede, while citing ongoing difficulties being faced by UTME and direct entry candidates in the name registration, attributed the action to what he called technical reasons.
2020, we are not going to use NIN as prerequisite for registration. We are therefore suspending this till subsequent year, 2021, when all candidates will have been given what appears that like a 1 year notice that they will have opportunity for doing their registration.
We employ all parents to students registering JAMB in 2021 to ensure they enroll themselves and their children in good time to avoid this last-minute rush. We have about 2 million JAMB registrars. We have only 1,000 centers, and but based on the standards, we are supposed to have at least 4,000 centers. But in the coming year, with the ecosystem in place, we believe that we will have more than 10,000 centers.
The Nigerian Geological Survey Agency has debunked the rumor that there was an earth tremor in Gwagwalada area of the Federal Capital Territory this Saturday. Director General of the agency, Abdul Razak Garba, made the clarification after inspecting the alleged spot of the earth tremor.
From our records and our equipment we have around, there is no record of any earth tremor recorded there. So our belief is this, that the author of that publication, with all the information he has at his disposal, should come forward, as is being done in other countries, to Nigerian Geological Survey Agency, so that we compare notes and look at the data and then assess it, evaluate it, and know whether in the real sense of it there is actually an earth tremor in those areas.
Meanwhile, the agency will carry out further analysis at its seismic center at Gwagwalada on Sunday to give detailed account. The federal government's determination to deliver the Lagos-Ibadan rail project at the stipulated time remains sacrosanct, but the height of construction work requires that some routes be closed for motorists. Michael Lale is at the Igomu level crossing, one of the two routes that are being shut to pave way for completion. Hello, Michael. What is the situation there at the moment, and how do you think the motorists are going to cope with the closure of some portions of the road?
Okay, we are at the Igomu level crossing, one of the two roads being shut by the state government to give room for the construction of the rail project. Now the construction have actually started, and right at my back, the contractors and the projects are already at site, ensuring that that has been done. Now, the implication of having this type of road closed is that it's going to affect traffic. You know, Lagos, a truck breaking down on the road might have a lot of implication. You understand? Now, this particular road is very strategic, because it is assumed among Lagosians that 60 to 70% of Lagosians work, do businesses, or have one transaction or the other to carry out on the mainland. And Igomu offers the link to the island. And now this particular road, before being closed today, is one of the alternative provided by the state government to ensure, and since the construction of work at Costain began, the construction work at Costain is strategic also, because what government is trying to do at that particular location is to increase the height of the bridge so that there will be enough headroom for train when they are traveling along that location. Now, Now, the third thing that makes this particular road very important is that this Igomu happens to be an industrial estate in which Igomu happens to be an industrial estate in which a lot of trucks and containers usually pass through this particular route. Now, the diversion of traffic from this area down to Costain Expressway, we have a lot of implication on the motoring public. Let me give you a good example. While we are trying to come to this particular place, it took us more than 53 minutes to get to this place. It's just a journey that could be completed in less than 10 minutes. But the good news here is that the timing is right. It's been done on a weekend when the large number of those that work on the island will not be coming to, are not here.
All right, thank you, Michael. Indeed, let's hope that measures are being taken to ensure free flow of traffic in that area as construction work on Lagos-Ibadan rail line continues. Thank you very much indeed. Now back to Abuja. The World Health Organization has recognized the efforts towards achieving polio-free Nigeria. WHO is expected to declare Nigeria a polio-free country this year if no new cases are reported in any part of the country. The international body therefore recognized the role being played by traditional and religious leaders in the polio vaccination coverage in the country. Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Sani Gwazo, was also recognized by the WHO on the role he played in ensuring that Nigeria makes significant progress in her polio eradication program.
At the time of looking at the transition but it was a critical time of reforming the WHO emergency work. One of the things is, how do you make sure people in conflict and fragile states are able to get vaccination, especially as we fight against polio? That work required thinking. How do you work with governments, but also states where there are weak governments, almost failed states, to ensure vaccines reach everyone? That work. Today, many of our countries in Africa don't have one polio virus because of the work that people like Dr. Sadi did to stop.
Nigeria was abused openly for spreading polio. So I looked at it, I said, Kano State is the worst state at that time in Nigeria where polio was being spread. We developed a three-pronged strategy. Immediately the WHO saw it, they gave me an appointment to stay within WHO. I spent 2 years in WHO Nigeria moving that strategy forward. And that is what culminated in the three-pronged, the Majigi program, the traditional leaders, and the religious leaders. And that is what cut short the spread of polio in northern Nigeria.
Sani Gbazo was a director in the Ministry of Health before his posting as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. Now, the Buhari Media Organization, BMO, has described for the People's Democratic Party's PDP to complete its national secretariat building in 12 years as the most telling commentary on the party's record of project execution. The media group, in a statement by its chairman, Niyi Akinsilu, says the present administration inherited a number of abandoned projects across the country from the PDP when it could not even complete its own office structure after raising almost thrice the amount required. BMO says it's surprising for the opposition party to say it could have done better than what President Buhari and the All Progressives Congress APC had been doing since inauguration. The PRO Buhari Media Group therefore says the APC-led administration is working on 13 housing estates which are slated for completion this year under the National Housing Project Plan, aside other numerous projects. In line with the mandate of President Muhammadu Buhari to the Ministry of Interior for the total reorganization of Nigeria's internal security strategy, key players in that sector have converged on Ilesha or Oyo State to exchange ideas on the best way to actualize the mandate. Doing there was there for us.
The safety of lives and property of Nigerians is one of the cardinal points of the next level agenda of the present administration, with a template already designed and presented to the various ministries and departments of government. Achieving this mandate is one aspect that is there to the Interior Ministry, and so these 2 days ministerial retreat with the theme driving performance in achieving the presidential mandate on Nigeria's internal security is providing the needed platform for the various departments under the Interior Ministry to share ideas.
We should come up with sound ideas on how to tailor our operations in such a way that public confidence in our ministry and its agencies will steeply rise and perception will be on the positive upward swing.
Governor of Osun, Gboyega Oyetola, and other dignitaries agree that a collective effort is required to achieve President Muhammadu Buhari's vision of a safe and prosperous Nigeria.
I therefore urge all the citizens and the residents of Nigeria to cooperate with the security agencies by providing intelligence to them.
I believe it is going to be fruitful for the nation, and people's lives and properties will become more secured.
With the expectations of Nigerians rising on a daily basis for effective and quality service delivery, the outcome of this strategic meeting, organizers say, will address the various issues bothering them. Doing Dia, NTA News.
5 people held captive by Boko Haram terrorists have been rescued by combined troops deployed to Goza, Borno State. A statement by the Nigerian Army Operations Media Coordinator, Colonel Aminu Ilyasu, indicates that the troops comprising elements of a Theater Strike Force, Cameroonian Defense Force, Civilian Joint Task Force, and hunters liberated the victims during a clearance operation at Gwangara-Gwanta Mountain. Similarly, one person abducted from Dekwa Council area of Borno State was rescued by troops of Operation Lafia Dole. Colonel Ilyasu notes that several terrorists were killed and arms recovered at the recent encounter. Well, we shall be getting to you in the second part of the bulletin. And of course, fire has been described as the greatest servant and the worst master, very difficult to control when it turns into conflagration, burning and destroying everything on its path. Today we focus on the incessant nature of the disasters in Nigeria and ways to curb the menace. Correspondence report is up ahead, and when we get back to you, the program returns.
Glory Charge and Win Big Promo don't carry waka reach February 2020 now.
Plenty people don't they win plenty prizes anyhow.
My own done better because I week I came around. I'm very happy. Glory, thank you.
This machine is going to be beautiful for me. I'm going to give it to my babe. She's a fashion designer, so she's going to be making use of it. My life done better.
The grinding machine where I win, I can carry my wife will be a vendor to help and well. A better thing will glow do for me. I tell you.
It is a nice surprise because not long ago I promised my wife to get her a sewing machine.
I didn't see it coming. I thank God and I thank Lord for blessing me today. I'm so happy. I'm excited.
I beg, TRS go recharge with 200 naira today. Make you say following Ogbonge prices like Keke Napep, grinding machine, generator, and industrial sewing machine. Glory Charge and Win Big Promo don't carry waka reach February 2020 now. No day for river make soap the entire aisle.
Glow Unlimited. In Nigeria, there is one sound we need to silence. So let's silence toothache before it starts with Oral-B all-round protection. Its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth holes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because the only sound we really want to hear is that of our future. For healthier, stronger teeth in 1 week.
That channel where you watch just now don't waka, no panic.
There's me no panic.
You go do it by yourself like ABC. Oh yeah, press the menu button on top your remote. Scroll up and down till you see Information Central. Then press OK.
Press OK.
Check the signal strength and quality. If the signal strength and quality pass 70, make you press the exit button, go back. Go advanced options, then choose installation, then go to reset and press OK.
Yeah, press OK.
Wow, now you say fit catch all those channels wey be one miss road by yourself. Yes, make your groove for no loss. You see as I do am, abi?
And I see as I do am.
Go TV, live it, love it.
And I see as we do am.
Choose to do this with your stew, but not your data. Get more out of life with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# today. Data is life.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Well, just before the stories on fire disasters in Nigeria, let's take this report. President Muhammadu Buhari has sent a message of good wishes to the former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Nuhu Ribadu, who married off 2 sons today. Ribadu's children, Mahmoud and Abubakar Sadiq, married their beloved partners, Aminatu Ismaila and Fatima Jejiwa, at an impressive ceremony in Abuja. In the message delivered on his behalf by the Chief of Staff, Abba Kyari, President Buhari wished the new couples prosperity and excellent shared dreams. He prayed for happiness and joy as the couples move ahead in life. The Chief of Staff was accompanied to the wedding by top administration officials and the personal aides of the President. Now, the quick intervention of the operatives of Imo State Fire Service has prevented a bushfire at the buffer zone of the Imo State Zoo and Wildfire Park, Owerri, from engulfing the entire establishment. Kingsley Ononiwu, who was at the scene, reports that no human or animal life was lost in the inferno.
The mysterious bushfire was about to rage into the conservation forest of the Imo State Zoo and Wildlife Park from the buffer zone before the operatives of the State Fire Service battled to extinguish it. The principal conservation officer in charge of the zoo, Mr. Francis Abioye, speaks on the fire incident.
Is when we start the course of investigation, we can actually know who is responsible for the fire and why. If not for the quick response, I'm sure Imo State will have lost the pride of the zoo and the wildlife park.
In his reaction, the operation officer, Imo State Fire Service in charge of the state government has Owerri, Mr. Francis Ekocha, who led other operatives of the service to the scene of the fire incident, explains why the situation was timely brought under control.
It was a quick information that made us to come here on time.
It will be recalled that prior to the fire incident, the Imo State Zoo and Wildlife Park, Owerri, which is said to be the only surviving zoo in the whole of the southeastern region, has been invaded on 2 occasions by suspected land grabbers. In Owerri, Kingsley Ononiwu, NTA News.
Following the recent fire outbreaks that destroyed several lives as well as property worth millions of naira in Onitsha, the Anambra State capital, the government has taken steps to forestall such occurrences in the future. Ekene Ndulue reports that one of such major steps is the provision of firefighting equipment at all the major markets in the state. Onitsha, however, is actually the commercial capital of Anambra State.
The fire disaster that destroyed over 3,000 shops at Ochanja Market in Onitsha last October underscored the importance of having firefighting equipment at strategic locations, as well as the need for prompt response from first responders. A lot has, however, happened since then, as both government and society leaders have made efforts to ensure timely intervention to fire outbreaks. Worthy of note is the provision of utility vehicles and firefighting trucks by Governor Willie Obiano to the Anambra State Fire Service.
We revamp the firefighting capability in the markets and the environment, added more fire trucks. But today, we are giving yourselves over 16 utility vehicles.
The firefighting trucks have since been distributed to all the major markets in the state, as well as the various stations of the fire service in Anambra State. For the market leaders, they have resolved to service and maintain the trucks, ensure that functional boreholes and fire extinguishers are always available.
Every line should have opposite fire extinguisher in their lines. We make it compulsory. They train the young traders at firefighting.
Hopefully, these measures and increased sensitization by the fire department will mitigate the impact of fire outbreaks in the state. In Onitsha, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
Thank you, Ekene. And after filing this report, a fresh fire disaster was reported this morning at the Awada area of the same Onitsha in question. And of course, it's at the Mbuka market in Awada area. All right. Stakeholders in fire disaster management in Jos are calling for strict enforcement of fire prevention regulations in private and public places to minimize the incidents of fire disaster. Zinret Dingmum has the report.
Fire has often been described as the best servant, yet the worst master once it conflagrates, difficult to control and destroying everything in its path. For some shop owners and Wugabe Patazere, a foreign national studying in Jos, they have witnessed the mean side of fire as property worth millions of naira and belongings including certificates and travel documents were all destroyed, which according to eyewitnesses were caused by electrical faults and careless disposal of a cigarette stud, which are only a few out of the countless causes of fire outbreaks.
All my thing has burned. My diploma, I have 3 diplomas, all are burned. I come from Chad. I'm here for studying.
On the best response and preventive strategy, the Plateau State Fire Service and some residents agree that people must be more serious in adhering to simple household safety measures.
A little scent of fire just brings flames all around, so I think that's the safest way to handle gas. Keep it as far away as possible from the kitchen.
That electrical fire outbreak, you cannot do anything about that because sometimes it's the NEPA that bring high current. We are in a Hamatan, season. A season. That is usually, cold, dry, and windy. And we have been advising, people to use fire, with caution.
They also advise on the installation of fire and smoke indicators in homes and public places, while the Department of Petroleum Resources in Plateau State speaks on the dangers of illegal location of gas refill plants in residential areas.
The Jos Metropolitan Development Board has to approve that land, and it should come under the commercial or business purpose clause. The State Fire Service, the police also submit a report to the department.
It is, however, a common knowledge that government and citizens need to partner in implementing and enforcing safety measures. In Jos, Zenred Dingmun, NTA News.
Yeah, thank you, Zenred. At this point, we would like to introduce our guest tonight on the program, who happens to be the Controller General of Federal Fire Service in the person of Liman Alhaji Ibrahim, who is currently joining us from our Ibadan Network Center. Good evening, Controller, and welcome to Weekend File.
Good evening, Nigeria.
Well, I just hope that you can hear me clearly. All right, I just hope you can hear me clearly. But let me ask you the first question, sir. Fire outbreaks with their attendant devastating consequences are becoming an annual event in almost all parts of this country. What are the reasons for this? Why has it been on the increase?
Thank you very much. You know that we are in Harmattan season. And during Harmattan season, we have 3 prevailing factors that aid rapid combustion. The heat, the wind, and the dry environment. These are 3 important factors that assist rapid combustion. If you look at it, during rainy season, we don't have this type of fire outbreaks. But during the dry season or Harmattan period, we experience this type of fire outbreaks. So these are the 3 reasons that is contributing seriously to fire outbreak during Harmattan period.
Thank you. It is believed that when it comes to public enlightenment and on issue concerning fire, people really need to be sensitized, especially during this Harmattan period, as rightly pointed out. What have you been doing in this regard since November last year, when we began to experience fire outbreaks here and there. And actually, you said something that is more during the Harmattan season. But we also know that even during the rainy season of last year, there are fire incidences across this country. So what are you doing with respect to sensitizing the people on this?
Thank you very much. The Federal Fire Service, we have a department in charge of public education. And also at state level and zonal level, we have divisions in charge of this. And at the beginning of dry season or Harmattan period, we carry out what is called National Fire Safety Week. And this one is done across the country. Federal Fire Service and State Fire Service. We go to the markets, we enlighten them. We go to schools, we enlighten them. We go to worship center, we educate them on measures to put in place to prevent fire outbreak. But be that as it may be, there are so many factors that are contributing to this ugly situation, especially in the market. Every market is supposed to have layout to enable fire trucks to move in and fight fire. Every market is supposed to have fire posts with fire truck and personnel to handle fire as they start. 3, every market is supposed to have dependable water source, whether hydrant, whether overhead tank or underground tank. All these things are lacking. When you go to our markets, all available space have been taken over by shops, mobile shops, and that does not help at all in firefighting. 2, when you go out to fight fire in the markets, if the water is not available and you have only 1 fire truck or 2, you have to fight fire. After you exhaust that, you have to go to another distance to get water. Before you come back, fire will not wait for you. It will continue to spread. Another thing that contributes to market fires is people sleeping in the market. You saw what I saw on the screen now. When people sleep in the market, the activities at home are being brought into the market. We have cylinder of gas. We have generator. Each shop in the market has generator. And that led to buying of petrol to be stored in their shops, which is not good enough. That's why if there is fire, before you count 1, 2, 3, about 10 shops are already on fire because there are high inflammable liquids that have been stored in some of these stores. Then 3, if you look at what is being destroyed in the market, where we have brick building, there are no much problem. But where we have wood and iron shops, this one cannot withstand the test of this weather. So it aids quick spread of fire to other shops. So we are appealing to local government authority. We have been talking to them because they are the one in charge of markets to not to sell available space to traders so that they will not obstruct the access road to the market. Also, they should provide adequate and dependable water source for firefighting. They should also provide in every market plan, before market is built, in the plan you have construction of fire post. So they should have a fire post in the station. If they have fire post, they should contact either state or federal fire service to station their men there so that at the outbreak stage, early stage of fire, we can easily tackle it because every fire, starts very small unless if it is explosion. But in the absence of all these things, it will be difficult to control fires in our market. But we are doing everything possible with the state fire services. We have a department called Inspection, Investigation and Enforcement. At state level, they call it Fire Prevention Department, which daily duty have it as a routine to go around business premises, public building to enlighten members of the public on fire safety measures. We can put measures in place to give us early warning. We can put measures in place to tackle fire at the incipient stage. So the Federal Fire Service and State Fire Services have been doing their best to enlighten members of the public on how to prevent fire outbreak and to reduce the impact of fire outbreak on our citizens.
All right, thank you. You have said raised a very important issue in your analysis, but I'm going to ask you this question: do you have adequate synergy with the state-owned fire service? Because of course the story that we have is that most of the state-owned fire services are poorly funded, precipitating lack of equipment and even qualified men to fight fires.
Thank you very much. It's not only state fire service. To be honest with you, before the coming of President Muhammad Buhari, the federal fire service was already in coma because we only had 3 firefighting trucks, 2 in Abuja and 1 in Lagos, and they were all dilapidated and obsolete equipment. But when President Muhammad Buhari came on board, he now saw what we had and decided to approve purchase of 96 firefighting trucks. As I'm talking to you, we have taken delivery of 62, and 9 have arrived at Papa Port for delivery, which will be commissioned very soon by the Honorable Minister of Interior. 8 are on the sea coming. Remaining 15 are at various stages of manufacturing in Germany, Austria, and Turkey. Now, yes, the synergy between state and federal fire service. Because we noticed that gap, we decided to open zonal offices. I came on board March last year. Before I came on board, we have 6 zonal. We converted the siege of political zone to 6 zones. Now, our presence at the zone is to complement the effort of state fire services. But still, many states don't have the capacity to do their statutory duty. When I came on board, we took delivery of additional fire trucks. That led to breaking the zones into another 6 additional zones. So from 6, we have increased the number of our zone to 12, and that makes our response time better. Then, as I'm talking to you, I told you 8 already in 9 have arrived at Papa Port in Lagos. By the time the Honorable Minister commissioned it in the next 2-3 weeks, we are going to send this vehicle to states where we have high commercial activities and industry. And we pick a state from each of the siege of political zone. From South, we are going to Port Harcourt. We are going to give them 2 fire trucks, modern firefighting trucks. Ibadan, 2 modern firefighting trucks for Southwest. Then the Southeast, we have Anambra State. We are going to give them modern firefighting trucks too. Then Northwest, Kaduna, North Central, Jos, and Northeast, Maiduguri. Now, we are working hand in hand with the state fire services. By the time we added these 6 to the 12 zones we have, we will be in almost 30 states of the Federation to complement the effort of the state fire services. Even training, we are taking it upon ourselves since we have the capacity in terms of equipment, in terms of personnel. We are taking it upon ourselves to train the state fire service personnel free of charge. And because of that, the Honorable Minister of Interior has graciously approved establishment of 1 firefighting training school in each of the siege of political zone. Before now, we only have 2, the National Fire Academy in Abuja and Fire Service Training School in Surulere. But what we now look at is that one of the problems and challenges the states are facing is training and retraining. We decided to establish 1 training school in each of the siege of political zone. And as I'm talking to you, in the next 4 or 5, we will flag off from Katsina, Kankia, Federal Fire Service Training School for the Northwest, training of about 70 state firefighters. So that is the kind of synergy we are trying to build between the federal and the state to make sure that Nigerians have a total fire safety cover.
All right, thank you indeed. Controller General, from all indications, you can see that fire outbreaks in Nigeria has become perennial, year in, year out. We tell the same story. And of course, you have already told us certain challenges confronting the fire service, not just at the federal level, but also at the state level. And the synergy you are trying to build will augur well for the execution of your service. But what is a common factor in all the fire disasters in Nigeria is the poor responsiveness of the fire service or fire agencies across the country. What is the reason? We understand you have some challenges, but what are the major reasons for this lateness in responding to fire disasters?
To the report from, which state that Enugu, the zoo fire, the people commended the state, Imo State, commended the prompt response of the state fire service. And the director said why they achieved that was because there was quick report from members of the public. Now, if you say we respond late, when did you call the fire service? Is it when the fire started? Or fire have started long ago, you are trying to put it off. It was when you cannot control it, you now call the fire service. We are not spirits. No, we don't have any magic to know that there is fire outbreak elsewhere. Somebody must inform the nearest fire station to them. That is one aspect. The nearest fire station to where the fire occurred, how many kilometers? I will tell you, we have 774 local government in Nigeria, but the fire service station we have in Nigeria just about 300. That means we have not covered the entire local governments. I'm appealing to state government. Let them emulate what is happening at the federal level. We have 3 senatorial districts in each of the states. Let the state try to ensure that they establish functional fire station in each of these 3 senatorial districts. Because the closer we are to the people or community, the better our time of response. That's another one. What is the state of the road from the nearest fire station to where you call us? At what hour? Is it peak hour? Because it will be irresponsible of any fire officer that you receive an emergency call and you sit in your office doing nothing. The moment we receive fire call, we turn out to fire station. Our response time in Abuja and Lagos is 5 minutes. But where we don't have enough fire station, there's nothing we can do. If it's going to take us 20 minutes, we will still respond. But at the time we receive the call. So, and that is one aspect. Second aspect, what method of call did you use? Is it telephone? Or do you run to our station? If you give us telephone call, fine, that one is faster. But if you drive your vehicle from your house to the nearest fire station, time is wasted. When do you arrive at the fire station? Is there a hold-up that held you behind before you reach the fire station? So there are many factors, but they say it is fire service that come late to fire. There are so many factors that will determine whether we respond quickly or we respond lately, and that is what I've highlighted.
All right, Controller General, Federal Fire Service, Sulman Alhaji Ibrahim, thank you. We're going to play you 2 more reports before we return to conversation. We'll take that now. And it's to curtail the spate of fire disasters in Oyo State. More proactive measures are being taken by the state government. This is a sequel to the various fire outbreaks across the state where goods worth billions of naira have been destroyed. Funke Ibidamito is our guide here.
The devastation which follows fire disasters no doubt leaves victims shocked with regrets and tales of woe.
It really affected each and everyone in this place. This is a place where 500 workers take their daily bread.
Totally everything has been lost. It's irreparable.
Nobody that will see what has happened here and will not be devastated.
In recent times, Oyo State has experienced an unacceptably high number of fire outbreaks, the most recent being the razing down of 400-year-old Akeson Market in Oyo Town, which has enjoyed unbroken commercial activities until recently. A furniture factory at Yagoku in Ibadan was also gutted, while an industrial estate at Oluyole area of Ibadan was totally burnt down late last year. These incidences and pockets of others have been attributed to surge or spark in public power supply.
So maybe through the high tension of electricity or burning of disused refuse. That is why the time of Harmattan, you should not burn anything.
But why this degree of devastation?
The touts, the hoodlums, they beat up our men. And all these things will not allow us to work effectively when fighting fire.
The Oyo State government is being proactive in addressing the issue.
We have commenced the process to purchase new fire trucks. We will fast track all the things that we were supposed to do to ensure that we protect lives and property.
Residents are advised to be safety conscious and avoid acts capable of igniting fire disasters, especially in the Harmattan. In Ibadan, Funke Bidamito, NTA News.
Thank you, Edith Funke. Following the recent gas explosion that claimed lives and property in Kaduna, authorities have declared a state of emergency on illegal and reckless transactions of both industrial and cooking gas across the state. Mejama Adamu reports.
The cold weather of Saturday, 4 January 2020 did not come with any premonition of tragedy for Professor Simon Malam, the Chief Executive Officer of Atomic Energy Commission. The day that began well turned out a shocking tragedy that left the professor alongside some people dead, others seriously injured, and property worth millions of naira destroyed at Sabontage and Kaduna metropolis. An accident at a gas refueling outlet resulted in an explosion that ended in that tragedy. The retail shop is among many that operate illegally within residential areas in Kaduna and environs.
Gas business it should not be done inside people. I believe they should have a company, gas company, who are qualified, who are licensed to do this business.
To avoid recurrence of the incident, Governor Nasir El-Rufai has directed immediate clampdown of all gas refill outlets located in residential areas across the state, a directive that authorities concerned have commenced implementation.
All such outlets should be shut down. We will relocate them, we'll give them land in the industrial areas where adequate precautions to prevent things like this happening will be put in place.
Dealers and consumers must look out for the mandatory embossed markings on all imported LPG cylinders specified in the standard NIS 69/2013.
We are already working with the other security agencies and the agencies of Kaduna State government to ensure that we go into the nooks and crannies of Kaduna State to ensure that all these illegal operators are apprehended, and we can even consider the possibility of getting them prosecuted.
In 2019, a total of 483 fire outbreaks were recorded in Kaduna State, resulting in 36 deaths and 84 persons injured. A total of 30 incidences have been recorded this year with 14 persons dead.
Many people were indulged in the use of electric heaters and then the use of candles and bush burning. So other causes of fire outbreaks that amounted to the large number of fire outbreaks that we had last year.
Careful handling of electrical appliances, gas cylinders, and avoidance of bush burning, experts believe, will limit fire outbreaks during the Harmattan season. In Kaduna, Mejama Adamu, NTA News.
All right, thank you there. Let's return to Ibadan, where we still have Controller General, Federal Affairs Service, Liban Alhaji Ibrahim. Controller General, you have just watched the two reports now, one from Oyo, and of course the one we've just seen. What do you make of the burning of a custom market? We had one of your men in another platform telling us that your men had issues fighting fire in that market because some hoodlums decided to fight them because they want to seize the opportunity to loot the market. What was the report you got from there?
Thank you very much. That ugly incident was reported to me, and that will not deter us from doing our statutory duty. Those that are doing that have their own intention, which we know, and the other authority know. But immediately after that, we got in touch with the security agencies, and they give us a security cover, and we're able to carry our work successfully. Also, there was another fire in Oyo, where the windscreen of our firefighting vehicle was broken. But The government has now replaced that one, and we'll continue to do our job. It's our responsibility. I'm only appealing to both the military and the police and civil defense to give us fire cover, both the personnel and the equipment when we turn out to fire ground. We cannot say because there are hoodlums, we will not go and save what is on fire. It's our duty, and we are ready to go in there to go and carry out our statutory responsibility to extinguish the fire, to control the fire. Thank you.
Well, let me take you back on the issue of sensitization. Are you going to step up action, in this direction? Because according to the World Life Expectancy Report of 2016, Nigeria ranks among the highest deaths by fire. Reason not because of the number of fires in the country, but because of absence of sensitization and fire prevention, mechanisms or drilling in schools, or offices, and markets. Are you going to step up action in this direction?
Raised three issues here. The issue of sensitization, I've already spoken about it. There is a department in charge of public education at federal level, at the zonal level, and at state command level. And they engage both institutions of higher learning, secondary school, primary and nursery and primary school. Also, business premises to enlighten them on the measures to be taken to prevent fire outbreak. Now, what are the measures? You are expected to install in your building or structure fire alarm system so that there will be early warning when the temperature has reached its ignition point. The moment it reaches that, the alarm will sound. And when alarm sound, it draws the attention of either the occupier of the building or the neighbors, who will now raise for the alarm for assistance and call the nearest fire station to them. 2, install whether automatic or manual first aid firefighting. Automatic in this sense, we talk of sprinklers. Sprinkler can be water sprinkler, can be chemical sprinkler, to be installed in the building. Then, if you don't have that one, you can have fire extinguishers. We will carry out risk assessment of your structure or building. When that is done, we'll give you reports. We assist you to buy genuine firefighting equipment, that is fire extinguisher. We train your men, we train you how to use those fire extinguishers in case there is fire outbreak before the arrival of fire service. What is important, wherever you reside, apart from the national emergency number, which is 112, know the nearest fire station to your home or where you reside, know their telephone number, so that in case there is fire, you call them immediately. That will make our response very effective. You talk about death. 95% of death is not fire. It's inhalation of smoke. By the time you inhale smoke, the lungs are blocked. And if there is no rescue of that person within given time, you will not be able to breathe. And in most cases, people are dead before the fire burned them. So it's not fires that burn people, it's the smoke that they inhale in that situation. And we have been telling people, because what to bring about inhalation is there is gradual combustion in your room, and you are fast asleep, and you are breathing. You are breathing the smoke, and it will block.
All right, Controller General, we would like to stop you here at the moment because for want of time. Thank you very much indeed for sharing your thoughts on this issue with us this evening. I've been speaking with the Controller General of Federal Fire Service, Liman Alhaji Ibrahim, who reached us from our Ibadan Network Center. Thank you very much indeed. Right now, we'll take a short break. When we return, the program continues.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people. They traded their freedom, comfortable homes, and mortgaged their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, fearless, loyal, and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem with pride to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
It is the lead we should take to honor the memory of the gallant hearts of the men who paid the supreme sacrifice to keep the country united.
President Muhammadu Buhari enjoins all ministries, parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the Emblem Appeal Launch. Send your donations to these accounts. Account name, Emblem Appeal Launch. Account number 393-200-7526. EcoBank Nigeria PLC.
I will now join Olumide Ekuntola for Sports Update.
The Reconciliatory Committee set up by the Nigeria Olympic Committee to investigate the crisis rocking the Athletic Federation of Nigeria and also provide solutions